The presidency says President Cyril Ramaphosa's state visit to the United Kingdom is key for both countries as they look to consolidate long-standing friendship. President Ramaphosa will lead a high-powered delegation on a state visit to the UK this week. SABC News politics editor Mzwandile Mbeje is on the line from London. In fact, he's speaking to us from the airport where the president is expected to touch down any moment. So, Mzwai, good morning to you. When can we expect the president to arrive in the UK?
A very good morning to you, Leanne, and the viewers. And, well, I need to count, I think, backwards or forward in your case. We are 2 hours behind. He is expected to arrive here at 7:20, and I think that should be 9:20 that side, and of course for a very historic visit, given that we have a new king that has invited him, Leah.
Yeah, amazing. So this is quite a thing. I mean, it is the first engagement for King Charles, and the invitation has gone to our president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Talk to us about this. I mean, how did it all come about, and why specifically the president of South Africa?
You know, this is quite significant in so many ways. In fact, yesterday we also spoke to the High Commissioner to the UK, our High Commissioner, Kingsley Mamabulo, and we really posed this question to say, why are we the first leader, the kind of importance? I think what transpired is that as much as we knew that there were, even before the Queen passed away, there were attempts, or rather an invitation had been extended to the President of South Africa. So the new king was not necessarily bound by that new invitation. But upon him assuming the reins, then he decided that he wants to start his reign by focusing on new markets, by expanding relationships, and then by making it a point that Africa and the third world is not necessarily a forgotten country. So we play a very important role. You know, Leanne, that UK currently has exited the EU. They are looking for new partners in terms of their trade and investment. So if you want to go to a continent that really remains largely untapped, which is the African continent, which is the better gateway, South Africa has the infrastructure, they have the know-how, and of course our relations make it easier for them to expand those relations. So it is against that background that I think we were the first country to be considered. And by the way, might I add, South Africa is the only member of the G20. The G20 are the 19 countries plus EU. They form the G20. They are the most industrialized. And South Africa being the only country, so that does tell you, Leanne, the importance of South Africa.
Yeah. We're talking to the fact that there's a very high-powered delegation that is with the president. Who are we referring to? And I mean, do we have any idea what kind of issues and negotiations are expected to be discussed? Because it's not only the fact that he'll be meeting the king, he's also expected to meet with the prime minister, the newly elected prime minister.
Oh, yes. The meeting with the king is by and large ceremonial. You know that the king doesn't really play an executive role. It's just ceremonial. So where it gets down to business, as you've correctly said it at the end, is with government. So he will be accompanied by a number of ministers, obviously, and then he will also meet the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. They've already met in Bali and in Egypt. But what they will do here, then they will now get down to some of the issues. And also he's bringing along a business delegation, so to look into areas of investment. And I might just add again, Leanne, he will visit a center where they deal with the issues of diseases. This center is very important. And I think during COVID, it played a very key role. And for us to go and get some of the experience there and how it's done, to exchange that skills, so it will be very crucial. And outside of that, so there will also a business forum where business to business, including government, will be able to sit down and engage and talk about the areas that really they need to explore between the two countries.
Yeah. Any idea, though? I mean, just a hint of who is in that business delegation? I suppose that'll give us some direction of these talks. Any chance that we're talking electricity?
Yes.
That's our big thing.
Of course, energy is a big deal. It's a big deal. And one of the business leaders that I saw already, but we haven't had the opportunity to speak to, was Gloria Siroba. And, you know, in the past few days, she was honored for her outstanding work. So that is the kind of caliber of the people that the president is bringing here. So clearly, you can see that the focus will be on business interests, but the issue of energy will be very much top of the agenda. I mean, UK itself is going through its own difficulties with the war in Russia, given what's happening currently.
Indeed. All right, so I got to leave it there. So big one, President expected a touchdown in probably about the next 20 minutes. The first state visit that will be happening. I think Donald Trump was the previous one that the UK had invited. That was the US president. Now, that was pre-COVID, and here we go. This is the first one that the king will embark on.